Over half the residents say housing is worse since gambling. And nearly 3/4 claim there is more crime now.
That spicy barbecue burger has started to send you smoke signals. Alka-Seltzer to the rescue. Alka-Seltzer relieves the acid indigestion that's hot on your trail and also quiets the tom-toms in your head. So when your stomach and head go on the warpath, send Alka-Seltzer to the rescue and bring peace to your body fast.
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
Now, a surprise for your legs. Sheer Elegance Pantyhose presents
Silky, silky support.
the look of silk. Surprise, there's a whisper of support.
Sheer, elegant, silky support. Silky by day, silky by night. Silky, silky support.
Looks like sheer elegance. Surprise, it's silky support.
Silky.
From Legs Sheer Elegance.
Silky support.
Did you know you can get great style with great conditioning, too?
Another salon secret from Germac. Try Germac's professional styling mousse, gel, and hairspray.
Germac styling products are special because they protect and condition while they style beautifully.
Memories everywhere, from Paris, France to Pasadena, from the biggest to the smallest. It's as good as there, just call us.
Hi, Emery.
It's as good as there.
At least 9 out of 10 people have it. Many of them don't even know it. But it can be controlled. It's plaque, and Listerine Antiseptic fights it. Clinical tests prove Listerine, in addition to regular brushing, reduces plaque by up to 50% over brushing alone for better oral hygiene. Listerine kills the germs that cause bad breath and kills the germs that cause plaque. Now you know. Use it.
Americans, we know who we are. And when it comes to news, we know who we trust. Dan Rather, weeknights on the CBS Evening News.
Julie Andrews, William Holden, Robert Preston, Larry Hagman, Shelley Winters, and Richard Mulligan in Blake Edwards' S.O.B. Saturday.
Who's to blame for what has happened here? Casinos? Politicians? The government? Who?
Well, I don't think you can blame any of those people, any of those sources. I think the blame is ours.
Ours?
Ours. The people who lived here, the people who are in business here. We kind of, most of us gave up. Didn't fight, didn't try to change the system, didn't try to affect the necessary changes or to adapt even.
So we've seen the enemy, and the enemy is
us.
What does the city have to give up when it says to gambling, welcome?
Everything. Everything.
I'm afraid that if things go the way they have been going, the casinos will have it all. This will be a casino town.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that the casinos will own most of the real estate, they'll own City Hall, and Atlantic City will just be operated as a casino town.
It seems like the casinos get everything they want.
The casino referendum was a promise to revitalize all of Atlantic City, not just the casinos. That has not happened.
You feel in your heart you wish they tried something else, but then again, what else was left? Everything else was tried. You had a chance to restore the Queen of Resorts back to be the Queen of Resorts. But I thought the word resorts meant a complete city. By complete city, something for everybody.
It has created great opportunity for some people, not just the casino operators. It has failed to be a cure-all for everybody. It never was going to be a cure-all for everybody. That was part of that false expectation. I think if anybody's going to consider gaming in any community or any state, they should make a very clear and deliberate study of the subject and learn from now the next state does not have Atlantic City's excuse.
Do you think they want you?
They'll tolerate us.
They what?
They'll tolerate us.
They come to our town to tolerate us. See, that's the kicker. This is our town. His grandfather, my father, and four, five, six others paid a lot of dues, okay? Not to be treated like second-class citizens in their own town.
I'm here and I'm staying. I've been here all my life. And we're going to hold on to what we have, and we're going to get our fair share for our families. And that's the way it's going to be. We're not going to be pushed out.
We had no paradise 10 years ago. It was a dying city. But it was dying with a little bit of dignity. I'm not sure I'd prefer to have it dead with a little dignity than alive with this.
But 40,000 jobs, $744 million in taxes.
Granted, I will not argue that. I will not argue that. If that's the measure, the ultimate measure of progress, then I have no argument. If the ultimate measure of progress is something beyond money, then I have an argument. It is not the loss of paradise. It's a loss of precious, irreplaceable opportunity. It'll never come down the pike again.
How does it feel to be loved for your money and hated for your presence?
It's very confusing, which is why I spend a lot of time home in Nevada. I'm finding it hard to deal with that kind of schizophrenia. I love the environment, I love the opportunity, I love the exercise. I can't stand the politics. This is a place, in a sense, that's very special, that has an unbelievable problem with hypocrisy.
Father, once upon a time you had about 700 members of this church, did you not?
We had 700 families.
700 families. And how many families now?
I know really of only 2 families in our parish at the present time.
What about children? Are there children in the church?
We do not have any children at all in our parish.
How do you survive? How do you keep supporting yourself?
Well, this is one of the good effects of the casinos. We are supported now by visitors and tourists to Atlantic City. And we happen to have many Vigilites in our church. And these men and women come in and they will light a Vigilite. And so happens the second source of income for our church is the Vigilites.
Do you think that they're saying a quiet prayer for a little success at the machine that day?
Sure. Some of them tell me, Father, you want to help us a great deal? On your Vigilite stands, all you have to do, put a little sign. Resorts, Golden Nugget, Sands, and Caesars. And so we'll have our friends come in. That's part of it.
What do you think it is that brings people to gamble?
I say this, that Atlantic City, in a way, is a very religious city because these people practice the virtue of hope, hoping that they're going to win something, that they're going to make the big kill, but it doesn't happen. Enjoy your stay in Atlantic City.
I enjoyed it.
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Faith, hope, and strike it rich. Something very American about that. One of the first things to catch my eye when I came to Atlantic City for this story was a plaque on the boardwalk. It reminds anyone who stops to read it that this was the home of the man who invented the game of Monopoly, giving millions of us hours of imagining we could buy Boardwalk, Park Place, and Marvin Gardens, that all of this could be ours and ours alone. We played it for fun. The casinos have played it for real. They won the game of Monopoly in Atlantic City. They helped to pass the referendum for gambling 10 years ago and then helped to write the regulations that would govern them. The state wanted the taxes and didn't much care what happened to Atlantic City. And the city fathers, well, of the last 6 mayors, 3 went to jail for corruption. The other city officials were no match for what hit them when gambling came. Whether it was air rights, zoning decisions, or street variances, the city gave the casinos what they wanted and asked for virtually nothing in return. Now the county assessor says the industry has become a shadow government, able to decide how large sections of the city are developed and who develops them. It's cowboy capitalism, city style, creating a row of Taj Mahals over here, and over there, some of the saddest decay in America. There have been plenty of winners. The casinos, all those people who live in the bedroom communities and work here, the state treasury, and the biggest winners of all, the land speculators. But Atlantic City, which bet its rebirth on hitting the jackpot, Atlantic City has yet to pass go. Atlantic City is still waiting. For CBS News, I'm Bill Moyers.
America's 10 best-mannered people revealed, and from Germany, Mrs. Jesse Owens remembers. All tomorrow on the CBS Morning News. Tonight on CBS Late Night, T.J. Hooker takes the heat when his partner spares a cop-killing juvenile. Then they trap a rooftop murderer in the Curlian Witness. It's all tonight after your local news.
All of those people right there, those four people, the parents, the bride, and the groom.
Indeed it is, and in fact, of course, it's brought the family very much back together. It was a great strain when the now Mrs. Hector Barrantes left her husband and went to Argentina. She ran off with a polo player, and it was a very hard thing for the now Duchess of York.
Well, if you happen to get up very early this morning to watch the royal wedding, believe me, you are not alone. There are a lot of royal watchers all over the United States, indeed all over the world. And that includes the Daughters of the British Empire. Now, 15 members of that group have been watching the wedding at Sonia Earnhardt's home in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And Sonia's joining us live, along with fellow member Joyce Hanisch. And good morning to both of you. Why did you decide to get up so very early to have a look at this?
Just to be there live. It's nothing like being there while it's happening.
Were you impressed by what you saw, Joyce?
Absolutely. It was the most beautiful wedding.
Yes, it was. It really was wonderful. I thought she looked marvelous.
Sonia, what stuck out in your mind as you watched all of the proceedings? What are those moments?
Her wedding gown. I thought that was just beautiful, just gorgeous, simple, elegant, and I loved that train with the initials on the back. That was wonderful.